Hello, good. How are you doing?
Good.
I had a to-go order, please.
What was the name?
A few days ago, I picked up food wearing my smart Meta glasses. I asked them to check our order. I asked about extra chips. I talked with several employees. Normal interactions. Except, during part of that conversation, my glasses were recording. And yes, the little white recording light was blinking. Nobody said anything. Nobody asked me to stop. And I honestly have no idea whether they even knew I was recording or not. Then I remembered I had recorded myself walking around Sam's Club too. And that made me look as though the glasses were a little different. Because I own them, I like them. But if recording other people can feel this normal, I understand why some people think smart glasses are getting a little creepy. I'm Mike C, and this is Life Over 40. Around here, I'm trying new technology, traveling, staying active, and having new experiences and figuring out what's still possible at this stage of life. But I'm also interested in what happens when new technology meets real life. Not just does it work, but what problems does it create? So if you're still curious about where all of this is heading, subscribe and come along, because this privacy question is getting a lot bigger than really what I realized. Then I saw a recent story from CBS News. A woman named, we'll just call her T.O., said she discovered that someone wearing Meta glasses had recorded her without her even realizing it. She says the video was posted online and eventually received hundreds of thousands of views across social media. Think about that. She didn't discover she'd been recorded because she saw a camera. She found out after people started sending her the video. And that's the part that made me think about what I recorded yesterday. With a phone, if somebody holds it up and points it directly at you, there's a pretty good chance you know something is about to happen. With these, I can look directly at you and you may not know if I am just looking at you, taking a picture, recording, or using AI. That's a completely different relationship between people and cameras. Now, I don't want to make this sound like Meta completely ignored the privacy problem. They didn't. Every pair has a white capture light on the front when you are recording. The light blinks so people around you can see that the camera is active. There's no normal off switch for that light. And with the second generation glasses, Meta says if the glasses detect the light is already covered or obstructed, the camera should disable itself. Should, until you recover it. That's actually a pretty good privacy mechanism. And yesterday I was working and the light was blinking. Here's where things get interesting. CBS actually tested what happens if somebody covers that light. If the light is covered before recording starts, Meta says Gen 2 glasses should prevent the recording. But CBS tried something different. They started the recording first and then covered the light. And according to their test, the recording kept going. Meta explained that the tamper protection is designed to detect the obstruction before capture starts. So no, I'm not saying you can just put tape over Gen 2 glasses and secretly start recording. That's not how they're supposed to work. But CBS showed there's an important difference between covering the light before recording and covering it after recording has already started. Meta also says some people have gone beyond simply putting tape over the LED. They've apparently seen attempts to physically modify or destroy the recording light. Meta says they're continuing to improve detection so the camera can be disabled when physical tampering is detected. They're even taking action against people advertising services designed to defeat that LED, which tells me something important. The privacy light isn't just a theoretical issue. Some people actually want to defeat it. And that's going to make people even more suspicious of everybody else wearing the glasses. But here's the bigger question for me. Even when the privacy light works perfectly, is a blinking white light actually enough? Because yesterday or a few days ago, mine was blinking and nobody said anything. Maybe they noticed. Maybe they knew exactly what it meant. Maybe they didn't. I honestly don't know. And that's the problem. A warning system only works if the person being warned understands the warning. If most people don't know what that blinking light means, technically they were notified. But socially, I'm not sure that's the same thing as understanding you're being recorded. There's another part to this that surprised me as well. Meta glasses have even supported live streaming directly through Facebook and Instagram on compatible Ray-Ban Meta models. Your phone handles the connection and the glasses can become the POV camera. You can literally switch between your phone, camera, and your glasses during the live. Now, the current Ray-Ban documentation lists that the native feature for Gen 1, not Gen 2, but what that means in the larger privacy conversation. We're not only talking about taking a picture or recording a short video and deciding later whether to upload it. Wearable cameras can potentially broadcast someone's point of view to an audience in real time. That's different level of technology. And here's something that happened almost immediately after I got my own glasses. My wife wondered whether I was recording her. And think about that. This is somebody who knows me, lives with me, knew I bought the glasses, and one of the first questions the technology created was basically, "Are you recording me?" That tells me Meta doesn't only have a technology problem to solve, they have a trust problem to solve. Because the glasses can work perfectly, but if everybody around the person wearing them feels suspicious, that's still a problem. And this is where I land. I understand the person wearing the glasses because that's me. I genuinely like them. I listen to music, take calls, use AI, take pictures, record videos I'm interested in, and they're also my actual prescription glasses. I'm not walking around thinking I'm wearing spy equipment. Most of the time I'm thinking I'm just wearing my glasses. But I also understand the person standing across from me. Maybe you're working, maybe you're eating, maybe you're having a conversation and suddenly you're wondering, is that person recording me? I don't think that concern is ridiculous at all. And honestly, this is making me think more carefully about how I use mine. I recorded those restaurant employees. The interaction was completely normal. I'm not trying to embarrass or expose anyone, and if I use the footage in this video, I'm going to blur their faces. Not because their faces are the story. They're really not. The glasses are the story. And I think that's a rule I'm going to try to remember. Just because technology makes a moment easy to capture doesn't mean every person inside that moment needs to become my content. Technology gives me the ability I still have to supply the judgment. And very soon, I'm taking these to Egypt. My wife and I have a trip planned. That's where this gets even more interesting. Different country, different culture, different expectations, museums, markets, historic sites, restaurants, religious sites, tourist areas. I've been excited about these as using them as POVs, AI translation, but now I'm thinking something's a little different. Something's a little off. When should I record? When should I ask first? And when should I simply leave the camera off? Because traveling with technology doesn't mean the technology gets to decide the rules. So here's a real life test. Imagine we're sitting across from each other. We're having a normal conversation. I'm wearing these glasses. You notice a tiny white light blinking in the corner. Do you immediately know I'm recording you? And if you do, does the light make it okay? Or would you still expect me to say, hey, I'm recording this? Would your answer change if you were just walking in the background? What if you were working and couldn't easily walk away? What if the video was going straight to a live audience? Where do you draw the line? I still like my Meta glasses. I'm still going to use them. And I'm still going to take them to Egypt. But here's the interesting thing. Actually owning the technology is making me more aware of the privacy problem, not less. Because now I've experienced how easy it is to record an ordinary interaction without interrupting that interaction at all. That's incredibly useful. And I completely understand why the exact same thing could make somebody else uncomfortable. Maybe the future of smart glasses won't depend only on how good the camera is or how smart the AI becomes. Maybe it depends on whether the person standing across from you trusts you while you're wearing them. And privacy isn't the only problem these glasses are starting to create. Because mine aren't just camera glasses. They're my prescription glasses. So what happens when places start restricting camera-equipped eyewear? But you actually need those glasses to see. That's the video on your screen.